and talk to Menhard here. Hello, because he wants us to wait in the pub of Charles IV. Is that the pub of Charles IV?
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign.
Hello everybody and welcome back to a little bit more Kingdom Come, where this time we're going to be actually talking about what the devs put out a little while ago for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is kind of like their 2-hour video that I'm just breaking down in about 15 minutes about. So basically this is an interview that was done, or this was a gameplay done between Tobias, their PR manager at Warhorse, and also Victor there, which is their art director. And I gotta say they did a really good 2-hour small gameplay kind of thing and kind of went through answer questions. Really well worth watching yourself, but I'm just going to break down the basics and kind of what I found out here and there. We'll go through a lot of different directions of like what I like, what I didn't like. Anyways, let's go through a lot of information I found through this video that I thought you might find interesting, and we'll go from there.
Don't forget about Gutenberg.
So right now we're going to start off with the Collector's Edition of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. What they were saying during the gameplay is that there's actually still the Collector's Edition's available in the Americas. It's sold out everywhere else.
God, so it is true.
But the PC version is sold out. So if you're looking for the PS5 version or the Xbox, you're in luck to get the Collector's Edition. But anywhere else, it seems like they're all sold out. So they said don't try to buy it from scalpers or something like that. But we'll see how it goes. But you know, if you got the Collector's Edition already, you know, congratulations. If you're still looking for it, looks like the PS5 or the Xbox version is the only where it's still going to be available in the Americas, at least. But I'd like to turn attention a little bit to something that's odd. There is the Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which is $279 for it. You get a clock and you get a bunch of these coins and this like little logo pin. Like, it's just, what are they doing? Like, my god, they're already gonna screw me for DLC, I know it, but Civ 7, you're just killing me on this. Like, $279, but...
And that's not all.
There's also the Stalker 2 edition, $389, oh my god.
Are you out of your tiny mind?
So, oh god, so Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, their Ultimate Edition is way better bargain altogether. Anyways, just as a quick aside there. One thing that they mentioned in the video is that there's no Denuvo anymore in the game, or going to be part as during the release, which, if you don't know what it is, it's just a DRM, basically an anti-piracy tool, and a lot of people are worried that it would hold back your computer, performance issues, or do a lot more damage here and there. So to some people this is a really big deal, so they mentioned in the video, in the interview when they're doing the gameplay. But if you would like to learn more information, check out this video by Belluar News. He does a pretty good explanation of what, you know, Denuvo is and kind of gives them back and forth on there. So check it out if you'd like to learn more about it. But mostly Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will not have Denuvo. Next thing on the list I want to talk about is basically the combat. The combat looks like in later levels that it actually looks like it's a lot faster, and it has a little bit more of the sound put in there. So in the early versions when they showed the first initial release, I think it was at much lower levels, so Henry seemed sluggish and kind of slow altogether, but here it looks like they're playing with a heavier level Henry, and at the same time you can see here there's none of that slow motion. I think that thing is completely gone that you have off of there, so there's none of this annoying wait combat thing and they kind of do a repose on you all the time or block and stuff like that. So it looks like there's a little bit more back and forth here altogether. So this should probably make for a little bit faster combat, not as annoying, so we'll see how it is. But the devs did say the combat hasn't changed too much, so it's basically the same. So you still got the pointed star arrows and directional and all that. So it should be pretty similar. So if you're used to Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 combat, the second one should be pretty much the same set there. And related to combat is that they have a lot more perks out there. They didn't show all the perks that you're going to have, but if you notice here, marksmanship actually has perks on there that's attached, and then you also have pole arms as well in there, so you have perks for that as well. And I think unarmed should have some perks. It looks like there's an arrow. They didn't open it up during the gameplay, or I didn't see it, so it looks like there's opportunities to actually get perks for combat, so you have a little bit of variety in there, so that's exciting. As something else that I think is a nice touch, but not really like game changing, but I really do like it, you can actually see that the items that you hover over can actually give you their cost or value, kind of little stats here and there. Really nice little touch there. It's not going to break the game or change everything for that, but it's a really nice, quality of life change, and I appreciate that. And looking through the video itself, kind of like admiring the artwork and all that, you could see that the animation is a lot more fluid. The eye motion is fantastic. People don't look as stiff as they used to be. Like, look at the guy's eyes, they just move back and forth. You can actually see more expressive. They blink a lot more. They actually turn their head. They do a lot more. This animation is far better. You could see the difference between Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, and you see them side by side, and you'd be like, wow, okay, there's so much more difference. Here and there's a little bit more life to it, and I really do appreciate that. And also, if you notice that there's teeth here, he's actually showing his teeth, which you don't usually see in the first game. Like, this is very unusual. There's a lot of great details. And also, the game also shows a lot of new characters. There's not a lot of doubles you see throughout the game. People are actually different, and I think the variety of people are going to show quite a bit. The clothes look brighter, so I'm excited to see that, and I really do enjoy that part right there. So
Beat it!
Anyways, what you should really mention in this game is basically how beautiful Kuttenberg looks like. Basically, in this video, the devs went through Kuttenberg and they basically only showed off the city itself. They did a little fighting on a mission and stealing and stuff like that, but most of it showed off the city, which looks absolutely gorgeous all the way through. There's a lot of life, there's a lot of details here and there, and there's a lot more people in the city, a lot more NPCs throughout the whole place, which is kind of cool to see, but I imagine it's going to cause some problems, which I'll show later on. But the city looks great. People talk to each other as they did in the first game, but like, again, it doesn't look as stiff. It looks way more polished. There's a little more alleys, it looks like. There's little details, like there's a little church building, clock towers, and everything just looks a lot more, how should I say, like, refined altogether. The art direction they went, it really knocked it out of the park there. So, and as I mentioned before, like Victor, that was the art director that was on this video, he actually had a lot of good details about different places, who lived there, why they built it, or how they built it like that. So I think that's something worthwhile hearing. And again, I think he should probably do his own little tour of the city itself and give a historical tour. And they give us sight of the countryside, looks great, but what you're really interested in is how big the map is. So you can see the map details here. Looks great. The city map doesn't make the city feel that big. It looks kind of small, but remember, Rattay itself was like basically only like a quarter of this map, if you want to put it like that. So I might be getting it wrong. It's say half or whatever, but it's a pretty big city altogether. So there should be a lot of little things to do here and there, and it'll get lost. The thing I noticed right away, there's like 2-3 armor smiths in the city within really good distance of each other. So we're gonna be doing a lot late night stealing. But what I'm really interested in is not so much the zoom in portion. I'm actually looking at the zoom out portion, which if you zoom out here, it's huge, and I talk about it like, look at that. Look how big the city of Kuttenberg was, and now see how big this map. And apparently there's supposed to be 2 maps, so
Beat it!
Alright, and let's go over some quick ones right here. So here we got lockpicking. They showed it off a little bit. It looks exactly the same as the first one. Kind of, works the same thing. You turn the lock, make it go. We don't know if it's going to be easier or harder for the Xbox PS5 version. I know on the PC, it works perfectly fine. The only thing that we were comment, I know some people mentioned before that lockpicking looks kind of simple, kind of ugly, I'm not sure. I mean, it looks about the same. It's a circle with metal and you unlock things. I don't know what else to put off of here, so it's one thing. Another thing that people mentioned later in the interview, or basically during the gameplay, the devs were talking about how the mines in the actual city of Kuttenberg, there's actually probably a good level of underground ways to go through the underground and actually use them in cities or for missions. So that's something to keep in mind. There actually might be a map underneath the actual city. Well, not a map, but essentially just a ways to get through the city through the mines. They kind of hinted at it, but they didn't really say they wanted to say more. So it could be a really extensive set of mines, or it could just be used for one mission. Who knows? I know the ones up in Skalitz were pretty dense, but they weren't used for a lot of missions, so we'll see if that changes here. It could be really interesting to get through the city, through the Underdark, and maybe do more of Henry's clandestine, missions. So
But thieving is wrong.
the devs were asked if children were going to be in the game, and they kind of mentioned no. And of course, for the obvious reasons, it's that people are going to try to kill them, or they're talking about building the items for the children and all the textures and the movements. So it takes a lot of work to do it. So I guess there's more towards like it takes a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. And that's probably why they didn't do it, which is fine. And finally, what they have here is they're talking about the reputation system. I kind of slowed it down to show that there's a lot of, they kind of spaced out the reputation system. So it looks like you can affect multiple groups of people. So it's not just combined into one set like most of the cities were. So it looks like you can piss off everybody.
I knew you were a bastard.
For longtime viewers of the channel, they know that in the first Kingdom Come Deliverance, there's chicken in every cutscene. I think they're doing it again. I can't believe the bastards. There's a chicken in every cutscene throughout the devs video, and they're doing it again. I can't confirm it, but I think it's happening again. And those chickens are really hard to find. So, did you find them in these cutscenes? I played them over multiple times, but tell me if you found them, but you probably didn't. I'm going insane. I can't. Oh my god, they're so hard to find.
Beat it.
The last thing I want to mention about the devs video is basically everything that kind of goes wrong with the jank that happens here. And I absolutely love the jank. Like this, for example, is animation that goes wrong. But if you look in the background too, it's that you can see the NPCs are going a little bit strange. Like there's so much that goes on in the background that you notice is that the NPCs start acting weird. Everything happens. They go faster. They don't know what to do with themselves. And I love it so much. And, the devs did say that this will be fixed. This is an old patch of the game, stuff like that. So I don't doubt it. It's an animation that happens. But take a look at this. Like, people are fighting, but look at all those NPCs. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're acting so strange, and it's great, and I love it so much. Like, Kingdom Come Deliverance has some of the best jank in the game, or games overall, and I love it. Like, you can't deny it. So, anyways.
Beat it!
I think that's good enough for now. I kind of did the brief overview of everything that kind of gone on through the video, the 2-hour video. I'll leave a link in the description where you can find the video. And also I'll put another link if you're interested about the Denuvo, DRM kind of stuff. So it's interesting overall, and take a look. So anyways, I'm a little bit more optimistic about this game after seeing this 2-hour gameplay that they did, talked about it quite a bit. I really did love how Victor talked about the history of the city, and he seems like a wealth of information on that, and I really do hope that he probably goes on and do something along the lines of, hey, talking about how big the city and when it was built. I think that would be quite interesting to do. Might not get as many views, but it'd be interesting because everyone wants to see the game, but it did such a good job about the game, they should probably talk about it. But anyways, I think that's good enough for now. If you're also interested, you can see my unfiltered thoughts in a live stream I did about this. That's how I kind of built this video, but that's up to you. Anyways, I'll leave it how it is, and I hope to see you guys around next time. Have a good one, and goodbye.
This Gefecht is over. We'll win.
Beat it.
Beat it!
Beat it.
Beat it!
Beat it. Beat it. Beat it.
Beat it!
Beat it.